Hello guys, it's your Pontiff Archibald Chesterfield III. How are you today? Guys, I want to make the video. How rich do you need to be before you buy a complicated Patek Philippe? Complicated Patek. Well, Patek Philippe, they have grand complications. That's the perpetual calendars, perpetual calendar chronographs, minute repeaters, and then they have complicated Pateks, which are annual calendars, world times, sorry, I was going to say annual calendars with chronograph and chronographs. Guys, how rich do you need to be? This guide here is strictly an estimate based on my guru status as the Pontiff. I want to tell you what the answer is. If you don't like it, it's free enterprise. You don't have to listen to a thing I say, but I'm a long-established Patek man. I've owned 6 Pateks at one time, and I probably had about 20 Pateks in my life at different stages, and I think I'm pretty good to make this video. So, how rich do you need to be to own a complicated Patek Philippe? Now, guys, the thing is, just because the price, the sticker price, you could afford to buy it, doesn't mean you should. It's like a Ferrari. See, you can buy a second-hand Ferrari 360 or a California for under $100,000. That doesn't mean you should. That's the sticker price. You've still got insurance, rego, upkeep, service costs. There's so many damn costs. Now, the same can be said for the watches. Just because the sticker price is a certain price, I'm here to give you a guide, an educated guide of how wealthy you should be to be able to afford this thing without it destroying your life. I'm doing this as a guide. So please don't be nasty and upset if the figure's a bit high for you. I mean, hey, if you got to ask the question, maybe you can't afford it, you know? Because I know this doesn't apply to me because I'm not worth this much, but I get a special exemption because I'm a YouTube performer. I use these as business tools. So that's why I can be significantly poorer than I recommend. Okay, complicated Pateks. What are we talking about? Let's have a talk there. Let's give you some examples. We're talking a Patek Philippe World Time 5110, 5130, 5230. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. This is it's just a magic sort of watch there. And in Australia, these retail for about just under $74,000. $74,000? Yes, $74,000. In America, I think they're about 60s. They're in the 60s. Brand new from Patek Philippe. That's the World Time. Another hugely popular complication is the annual calendar. When these came out, these were selling above retails. This is a 5035. It's an annual calendar. This is the first iteration. And I got to tell you, how rich do you need to be? Well, these now are about 64,000 in Australia. What's that, about 50,000 bucks for you Americans in American dollars? So I got to tell you, how rich do you need to be if you wanted to buy either of these? Now, this is going on my experience. I've met many Patek collectors. I've met many Patek people. And I'm just telling you my honest answer, the truth on the subject. Okay, guys, if you want to have one of these Patek Philippe's, I got to tell you guys, you've got to understand, you've got to have a certain wealth level. Now, what wealth level is it? Okay, so we're going to put this in Aussie dollars and US dollars. If you are in Australia, okay, if you're in Australia and you want to get a complicated Patek, I think you've got to be worth at least 5 million Australian dollars. 5 million bucks. 5 million bucks. If you are in the United States of America, I would say you need to be worth at least 3.5 million if you're in a cheap state. If you're in New York, San Fran, you're in the hot, expensive places, you need to be worth at least 5 million US dollars. That's correct, guys. I am sorry. Okay? I am sorry. This is the recommendation. I'll give you an example of why you need to be worth 5 million bucks. The world time of mine, I got it serviced in honkers. And then what happened was I noticed the rotor got stuck. You know how much it cost me to get this little baby back to the service center? I had to jump on a flight. That was $1,300 one way. Then I had to pay for another ticket when it was ready from collection because, so you've got massive costs. These are small market watches. They are expensive. Now, if you're saying, Archie, that's ridiculous, what answers can I provide? Well, let me give you a perfect answer. If those figures, 5 million bucks, is a bit hard to stomach, and I completely understand, you could always get a Jaeger LeCoultre Complication. Here we go. We've got a Jaeger LeCoultre Reverso Grand Date, 8-day power reserve, 2-disc date. This is a piece of a la Resistance. Guess what? To get one of these here, you only really need to be worth about $1.75 million. That's correct. $1.75 million. So if you can't cut the Patek mustard, get yourself a JLC Complication. They are amazing. Absolutely amazing. These are absolutely amazing pieces. You've got the press, you've got the horology of Patek at a Rolex sort of price. So that's kind of the costs there. Unfortunately, I got to tell you, service costs on this JJ LeCoultre, it's just as savage as servicing a Patek Complication. So unfortunately, the service costs are going to be just as scary. But hey, that's just how it goes in life. So guys, I think the $5 million, 5 million Aussie, if you're in Australia, 5 million Aussie. If you are in the United States, okay, if you're in a cheap part, 3.5 mil. Duco Ted, he's in America. He's got a Porsche. He's got a Cayman Porsche. Guess what? If he wanted to get he could get away with 3.5 mil. But if you're in the expensive bit, $5 million. These are the guides. Now, so many people get angry at me. They get upset. They say, Archie, what right do you have to tell me how rich I need to be if I want to buy an annual calendar or a world time? Well, I'm the pontiff. I'm here to make it easy for you. I'm not here to make fun of you or make it hard for you to achieve your dreams. I'm not a dream stealer. I'm here to give you realistic content and tell you what you need. Guys, luxury watches aren't for everybody. They are not for everybody. So please don't get offended. Just be nice about it and enjoy what I'm saying to you. This is the reality. So, guys, please tell me what you think. And I will see you in the next one. Hi, guys. ArchieLuxury. And who do I recommend in America? In America, who do I recommend for quality pre-owned wristwatches? David SW. Go to davidsw.com. He is the best, the greatest pre-owned dealer in all of the United States of America. David SW. Hey guys, ArchieLuxury. Who do I recommend for watches in Brisbane and Sydney? Vintage Watch Co. That's correct. Vintage Watch Co. in Brisbane Arcade in Brisbane and the Strand Arcade in Sydney. Vintage Watch Co. Brisbane and Sydney. Ronnie, I've known him since the late 90s. Ronnie is a top bloke. Luke is a great guy. Vintage Watch Co. That is who I recommend in Australia. Check out Vintage Watch Co. and the guys' amazing range of watches. They also do service and repairs. Vintage Watch Co. That is where the Pontiff goes. You know, some of my Pateks came from Vintage Watch Co. That's right, guys. Vintage Watch Co.